Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We have already started our discussion on research methodology, and we have gone through with the topic selection and important and relevant information regarding the types of various researches. And now today we will have a little discussion on the review of literature, which is a very, very important component of research. We will have a brief discussion today, and later on, I will go through in the next lecture, maybe, or I'll go through with all various types of review of literatures and in-depth information regarding the review of literature, so that you must have an idea that what type of research you are actually doing and how you relate the review of literature to your particular research study. Today, what we will discuss is you can say the common things among any review of literature whenever you are doing research. As I said earlier, no research can be done without review of literature. You cannot have any idea, or you cannot present any idea. Instead, you have gone through with all related publications, or at least few related publications of that particular topic, to know exactly what have been done up till now, and what obviously to find out what are the research gaps, so that you can justify your research. And obviously, whatever the methods or techniques you will adapt, or the variables which you will focus on, is also dependent on the previous work which have already been done. So today we have this topic that is called review of literature. So review of literature, you can say literature review is what is the documentation of a comprehensive review of the published and unpublished work. Yes, it is one of the important component of any research thesis, whether you are talking about a BS level thesis or MPhil thesis, or even your PhD research work. Even if we do research, or writing a project, even then we go through with the literature review component, because it is considered to be an essential component of any research. So what basically is the task? The task is to go through with a comprehensive review. uh, I'm not talking about a simple desk review, or just a small review. No, a comprehensive review of what, of the published, and sometime also we can consider unpublished work as well, because there are some sources where, with prior to the publications, the work is being presented on various sources, so that people can see it and can refer it from secondary sources of the data in the areas of specific interest to the researchers. So all of these are called secondary sources. And what are those sources? So there are various sources available on the internet. You just go through with your www and try to find out various resources from where you can have the data. For example, you might refer to Springer website, you might refer to IEEE, you might refer ACM, the ISI index journals, scientific commons, and there are so many sources from where you can have such kind of work. That published work may include your conference publications, research journal publications, books, periodicals, research projects, and also there are related theses which are also there on the internet, which we can refer, or which we can review while we are going through our specific area of research topic. So obviously, whenever we go for the literature review, we have to see that what is our problem domain, what is the area we are referring to. So entering into the literature review, sometimes, um, if you go with this process without any guidance or supervision, then sometimes it is very difficult, because you go into the depth of the literature review and you go into it. So there is unlimited depth, and there is, you can say, unlimited resources which are there. So if you do not focus on your area of research or your problem domain or a specific problem instance, then it will be difficult to summarize all those things. The main aim is to find out problems that are already investigated and those that need further investigation. So, whenever we are in the process of idea formation, which is a very important process as a research student, um, whenever we enter into MPhil programs or PhD programs, there we need to have some research idea. Sometimes the researchers are puzzled. They don't know on what topic they want to have a research, because there are so many things in their minds. Some people go with the latest terminologies and latest terms, and that they just decide, okay, I want to do research in that particular topic without having any idea of that topic, which I will never suggest. Always consider yourself, always see your strengths, where you are good at, uh, in what areas you think that you have an interest. And then in the next step, try to find out any problem related to that particular domain. So when I say to find out any problem in a particular domain, it does not mean that you solve the same problem which have been solved earlier on. So research is not like reinventing the wheel. So you always come out with a different idea. You always come out with a novel approach. You can always come out with an idea which is different, or even sometimes you want to do the same thing but with a different technique, by applying different method. Or sometimes you are interested to apply the hybrid approaches, so that is good. But you can support this by your literature review, because you have to investigate into the literature and try to find out that how much relevant work has been done in that particular area. So for that purpose, you need to spend time. For that purpose, you have to identify the key terms which are related to your problem domain, and then try to find out the relevant publications having those key terms, and see what they have done, what research idea they picked up, and what type of solution they are referring to. And it is very important to evaluate the conclusions, the results in various researches, and to see that how they have concluded it, and what are the strengths and weaknesses of that particular research. Or sometimes you can also find out the research limitations, which is a very important section whenever we are going through with such documents or publications. See what are the limitations. That gives you an idea that how you can improve it, what variables they have focused on, and according to them, which variables they might think maybe explored further, what type of relationships they have built upon, what type of models they have applied to it to solve that particular problem, how they have applied various approaches. Let's suppose if the problem is related to machine learning, let's see what type of machine learning techniques they have applied on that particular problem, how they have generated the data, how they have identified the variables, how they have identified the dependent and independent variables, and how they have formulated the problem. So that gives you an idea that how you can go about the same problem. So we might be interested in domains where people have already worked upon. So remember one thing, that we are living in a global society, or we are living in this world where lot of people think about various ideas. So it is not necessary that whatever you will think and according to you, if it is novel, it is novel. That is only confirmed by this literature review. So that aim to find out what to problems that are already investigated, and those that need further investigation. There are many areas and domains, let's suppose in computer science, in software engineering, or in information technology, which are being exhausted. When I say exhausted, it means that those areas are very well defined, and now there is a little scope of further research. But there are so many areas where we need further investigation, or we can think about such topics. There are so many domains. For example, the domain of artificial intelligence itself. For example, we talk about natural language processing, image processing. We talk about deep learning approaches, or you can say the uh, various distributed computing models, parallel computing. People are working on cloud technologies, um, and there are so many related areas. So now the more focus is on the application side. Now try to find out the area where you can apply these technologies to solve some real life problem, or give a solution to some real life problem which is very well justified, and no, and people can use that technology, or that use can solution to help themselves. So there are so many areas still we have. For instance, the blockchain technology nowadays. So a lot of people have been working on this blockchain technologies, on various areas or domains of blockchain technologies, including the model itself, distribution strategy, the security concerns, and other related areas, and also the application of blockchain in various areas. For example, in agriculture, in banks, in management, and in various distribution systems. So you have to think about a problem. You have to take a particular domain in your mind and then try to solve the problem. For example, we have one area where there is a lot of focus on research is the health domain. So a lot of work has been done related to health domain, and obviously. That has an application. So you can come out with the good solutions for diagnosis, for identification of any disease, or to have a prediction system where you can predict earlier on for a particular disease. For instance, early detection of for example, diabetes, or early detection of cancer symptoms, maybe, or early detection of any other such diseases, so that they can be cured. So we'll move forward to the review of literature. So, continuing with the review of literature, so you can say that it is an extensive survey of all available past studies relevant to the field of investigation. Yes, it is an extensive survey, and that takes time. I have found, some. There are some experiences you can say, because I have been associated with research students, and I just want to share with you that sometimes students, they are interested to collect the various research papers or publications or materials, but normally they do not go through with them, or sometimes they only read the abstract, or They just want to conclude it. No, this is not required. If you are doing, please, your MPhil research or a PhD research, and whenever you have reviewed any particular publication, you must have a clear understanding so that you can represent it in your thesis, because literature review is an essential chapter of your thesis, because your research is actually based on that literature review, and your research methodology without a literature review is not acceptable. So if you have written any research methodology, or you want to prove it, but if your literature review is not supporting it, if I am reviewing it, definitely I will not consider this, and I will give my remarks on that. So it means whenever you go with the review, first of all, you must look for the relevant publications. Number one. Number two, all those relevant publications must be published in some recognized, you can say, a research journal, or conference proceeding, or any secondary source from where you are having that information. So that needs to be very authentic, relevant, and also, if you are looking for a topic nowadays, so please review the papers for the last 5 to 6 years, which are very essential, because most of the research or latest research will be done in the last 5 to 6 years. So reviewing also the previous papers, but also focus your 60 to 70% focus will be on the last 6 to 7 years. Okay, so extensive survey means that you review that paper and you study that paper and try to find out the important elements of that particular publication. What are those? That what is the actual problem, what method they have applied, how the data is being collected, and what is the outcome, and what is the limitation. So in that manner you can review a paper, because if you have that information, if you extract that information from a paper, then it will be easier for you whenever you represent it in the literature review chapter. So there you can write that, okay, I have gone through with the paper this ABC.etel, and he presented this idea, and and the result shown that this is significant, and these are the limitations. So whatever the expression you have, you can represent it in the thesis. So, and also whenever you are going through with that survey of literature or review of literature, always look for reliable sources. What are those reliable sources? Here, I cannot name every reliable source which is there on the internet. There are so many reliable sources. For example, you can look for IEEE repository, you can look for ACM repository, you can look for Springer journals as well, Emerald journals as well, ISI index journal as well. You will also find ISI index journal list. You can see the related journals from there, and look for journals which have a good impact factor. And you can easily find out the impact factor of a journal if you search out the ISI index list, and there you can easily find out the impact factor. But in the beginning, there is no need to waste your time in finding out the impact factors. Rather than look for journals and look for the publications which is represent the related or relevant research, whatever you are thinking. So for that purpose, you have various, as I told you, that you have various sources. In some of the secondary sources, you can easily download the paper without any charges. But there are so many secondary sources which are available on the internet. There you have to pay a charge for, even IEEE, ACM, or Scientific Commons, or sometimes also in few journals, in the case of Springer as well. And there are so many other sources there. They can charge, or they charge for the download for downloading a paper. So if you have an access to the digital library via any source, for example, here we have that digital resources available through Higher Education Commission of Pakistan, HEC. So here, if you have a connection, if you want to download it from University of Karachi, for instance, you can freely download it. So try to look for such resources, and for that purpose, use Google Scholar. Do not go for the simple Google. Here okay, I just hold for a minute over here, and I will put that some information for you through internet. Thank you. I just wait for. So here, let's assume I will recommend you to use Google Scholar while you want to search any particular topic, so that you will find out information regarding all those publications. For example, I was just working on a research work related to spatio-temporal modeling for COVID-19 network, or I've just written a project, so I was looking for some related work. So I just used that Google Scholar, and here you can see the key terms appear. You might have more key terms. So here I have used only the COVID, spatiotemporal, and network. So you can see that there are various publications appeared here, and since they are at the Google Scholar, so we have the complete information with ourselves. You can see over here, one important thing also is related, you can see on the right hand side, for some of the publications you will find out the PDF version. For some of the papers you will find out the HTML format. Even it is not necessary that they allow you to download it. So if you click it, you will might find out that whether they allow it or not. So here you can see another paper using social network analysis to identify special temporal spread patterns of COVID-19. So in this topic, I was interested, so I was just looking for the relevant publication. So here you can see the idea is that Google Scholar gives you a very good information. You can see here about the authors. So every author is, is further, you can investigate. For example, you want to see that, okay, I am interested in further publication of Perosi, so I just click it to the Perosi, and you can see that you will go to the Google Scholar profile of Perosi, and here you can see what he did. Okay, fine. The first paper, okay, 5081 citations. It means it is highly cited paper, and that is actually published in the proceedings of the 20th ACM KD Knowledge Discovery International Conference on Knowledge, that is called DEVOC, Online Learning of Social Representations. And similarly, he worked on the statistically significant detection of linguistic change, and so on and so forth. So here you can go with the author, then you have the relevant journal as well, and here that particular paper is being cited. When I say it is being cited, it means some other papers have actually used it as a reference. So I just want to see which paper have cited this, because if I am interested in this paper and there are papers who have cited this paper, that might also have an interest. So I just want to go into the cited publications. Okay, so here, application of AI in battling against the COVID-19, a literature review, which is a good, because you will also find literature reviews, which is being published by various researchers, that are also very helpful. If you have a good literature review in your domain, that will really help you to write a good literature review in your research. And you can see these are all those papers who have cited this paper. So if you have more citations of the paper, it means that paper is very well recognized. But obviously, if the papers are new, for example, published in 2020 or 2019 or 2021, obviously they are published, 1 year ago, so they have little citations. But with the passage of time, the citations will grow. And here you can see it that these are the various publications. So these are the citations. And even if you want to know the related articles, means somewhat similar to that particular topic, you can go to the related articles. And here you will find the related articles. You can see examining COVID-19 forecasting uses spatio-temporal graph networks. Okay, I feel that is the same paper which I was referring earlier on. So I just want to see, okay, which paper is more relevant to me, and I'm looking for such papers. What the COVID-19 daily time series analysis using Facebook profit model, which is a totally different approach. I just want to click it to see whether that paper is available or not, whether the availability of the paper is there or not. Let's see here. Okay, that paper is there, and let's see that whether they allow me to download this paper or not. So if this allows me to download the paper, so that paper is downloaded. So I have that paper available with me. So I'm just backing it out, back it from here. So these were all the citations, related articles, various versions, and here you have, if you click this, you can say a symbol that is called cite. So click here. Now, how you will cite or you will put in your bibliography. So these are all, you can say, the standards of citations, or you can say standard of bibliography or references. So it's up to you which standard you use. So if you apply MLA, so then it means all references must be in the MLA format. If you want APA, normally I use APA, but MLA and APA both are recommended. IEEE is also represented, no problem. So here I like APA, so I just copy this, and I have, since I am reviewing my paper, so as a citation, I just normally when I review papers, I do like this. So I just put it here in the list. So I have available here on the list. So in Microsoft Word, let's suppose, or in any, and if let's assume that paper is available. So I just click here and see whether that paper is available for download or not, because I have to study that paper. That is only for reference. So to study that paper, I need to have a PDF format or a format. So that was the site, and let's see whether they allow me a download or not. So I just click for the PDF. Yes, that is available. So that is available. You see that paper. So I've just downloaded this paper, and let's suppose I put it in my desktop and I save it in the desktop, and then I put it in my folder. So in that manner, I can have all those related publications, and I'm just want to switch back to the topic. This was my topic. Okay, so purpose of review, to gain a background knowledge of the research that we have discussed already. Yes, to identify the concepts relating to it, potential relationship between them, and to formulate research hypothesis, because that is very much important, because you have to build any hypothesis of your research and then you want to prove it or disprove it. So either you go for the hypothesis, or the other way is that you can write your research objectives and research questions. So it is up to you what type of method you opt for. So it would identify appropriate methodology, research design, methods of measuring concept, and technique of analysis. So that review help you to look for an appropriate methodology. What type of methodology you opt for? For example, you go for quantitative analysis, whether you go for qualitative analysis, whether you go for mixed study, or you want to design an experiment, or or whatever metrics you want to use to measure various things. So that is all you can find out from that review. That really help you to give you an idea, to identify data sources used by other researchers. Yes, that is also helpful. That whether if a certain researcher has used this principle in his research, so how he and she has acquired the data, whether the data is being used from any secondary source or the data is being collected from any primary resource, and if that data is being collected, how that data is collected, what attributes they have focused on, and also to look for the structure of the representation. So, of course, what you have to do in the literature review survey to identify the relevant sources, as I told you earlier, what are the sources which are available online, extract and record relevant information. That is very important. You go through with the publication, or you go through with the research work, and then try to find out or extract that information which is important in your context, and put it in writing, and also put it in a fact sheet. So make a fact sheet of every paper, and then when you compare all, or you finish all your literature review, then you can make a statement, or then you can analyze it either graphically, quantitatively, in a tabular structure, or in the descriptive structure, and that is your right of the literature review. So there you can find out from books and journals. There are so many electronic databases, bibliographic databases, abstract databases, full text databases available. There are reports as well, published by the government, published by the industry, and those reports are available on their websites. There are lots of resources on internet, and there are theses and publications which are also there. So with this, I just want to conclude here the this part, and I hope that you understood the basic concept of the literature review. So I continue my next lecture after a while. Thank you.